Hi there, and welcome back to Jay's Toy Collection UK for more action figure breaking news. Once again, here on YouTube from the revamped office slash toy room 2. Before we get into the video, if you could hit that like button, leave your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and of course, why not consider joining the channel membership? But yo, Joe, we do have some action figure news today. We got G.I. Joe pre-orders. Todd McFarlane's been robbed, and Mattel and WWE have signed a license agreement extension. So there's lots to get into. So we will jump straight over to the screen share. And let's have a look then, shall we, at the brand new G.I. Joe pre-orders that have gone up. Now, I don't think I've actually talked about these figures at all on the channel because it was in my slight YouTube 2-week hiatus when this idiot fell through the ceiling. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a couple videos back in the playlist, go and check it out. But we do have the new G.I. Joe pre-orders then of what was announced a few weeks ago to go through. And we'll start it off here. Then so on Hasbro Pulse UK, they've literally just gone up within the last hour. And we'll start it off with Snake Eyes version 4. I do believe this is version 4 of Snake Eyes when it comes to the original G.I. Joe line. So I know Dan and Craig were talking about this on Legends and Liquor, I think, over the weekend, being quite nostalgic for this, because I think there was a 12-inch version available in the UK of this figure back in the day. And it's quite a funky design, isn't it? Storm Show. Snake Eyes does like to go through his different outfit choices within the G.I. Joe classified line. Not quite the stealthy ninja look, if that's what he was going for here. This sort of, I would say covert ops, but he's not covert either. This man is going to stand out like a sore thumb. But that's also an enjoyable thing when it comes to G.I. Joe Classified, because I do like kind of the bright colours and some of the crazy looks that they come up for the characters within the line. So this is one I will be looking to add to the collection. I'm just noticing, is that bloody swords he's got there? Or is, I think it is. Or is that just a design? Oh, it is. Okay, let's get right in there on the zoom in. Let's get the close-up look. And, well, I'm assuming it's supposed to be part of the actual design of the figure rather than actual blood that Snake Eyes has literally just chopped somebody's head off. I don't think that is what they're going for. That's probably part of the original figure design. But as I say, I didn't collect the G.I. Joes when I was a youngster. I got into the line a few years ago when Classified launched and getting back into the Sumbo cartoon through going through YouTube. So, yeah, not familiar with all these crazy designs, but that is what I like. You can do his mountain climbing as well. So Snake Eyes version 4 is up for pre-order. Who else have we got then to go through his pulse loads? We go through the standard figures, or should we go? Let's go into the order they've got them. So here is the Cobra Claw then, or if you will, the covert like aerial weapon. So it's a little plane. So I think you get a female pilot, I think, potentially with this one, which I'm assuming is a new design figure to the line. And it's your hand glider. So you can do your G.I. Joe hang gliding in there, it looks like to be with this one. So how much is this? This is a $55.99. All the other figures are the regular $24.99. If you haven't caught my live stream last weekend, go and check out This Week in Toys. I was back solo for over 2 hours and did mention there that G.I. Joe from 2026 will no longer be Hasbro Pulse exclusive within the UK. You'll be able to get Joes wherever your action figures are sold within the UK. So your comic and cocktails, probably your Star action figures, your Kapow, props and replicas in demand. They won't have to import them anymore. They will finally reverse that weird decision to make them Pulse exclusive in the first place. But you'll have more options on your Joe pre-ordering there. So the figure's not doing a lot for me, if I'm awfully honest there. I quite like the red helmet. That stands out a bit, but I do like the actual claw itself there. So you can see the sort of rocket effects plugging in to the top there. This is something I think I'll be able to hang off the wall. Channel members, if you haven't checked it out yet, on the Wedding Tier Fund, there is a behind-the-scenes video looking at this unit behind me. And G.I. Joe will be coming to this unit, so expect to see some Joes behind me. Joe videos usually do quite well on the channel, so I think the Joes will be integrated here into the office area. This is definitely one I will be looking to pick up. Haven't done a lot of Joe pre-ordering recently. It tends that they don't always seem to sell out here on Pulse UK for the Joe stuff, so I have been waiting on some of it rather than jumping on day one, whereas the Legends this year, some of them have been selling out. So I've kind of reverted over to pre-ordering Legends and waiting on my Joes. But there is your full sort of layout there for that one, the Cobra Core. So I don't think that's bad at all. 55.99 for a vehicle of that size to go with your figure. I think they've priced that okay, really. So I'm quite happy with that. And that is your Cobra Claw then. So we head back over the Pulse, finish the top row. This one I won't go too long on. It is basically just a modern sort of repaint of Major Blood. They already kind of did a modern version in the line. It doesn't look, the version they've done isn't one I would describe as retro at all. And this is making it even more modern. So this is one I'm not going to be looking to pick up. I'll just, if they did a more classic-y version, I probably would look to change my other Major Blood. But this one, a nice red sort of accents on the figure. So if you're looking for a more modern look, I'm not sure if this is from a new, is it Skybound doing the comics, I believe, with the sort of Energon universe with this and Transformers. Whether this is a look from that, I do not know. Somebody in the comments let me know. And again, while you're down in the comments, don't forget to hit the like button. And of course, let me know your thoughts on all the reveals in the comments. Let me know what you're picking up and anything I may have missed. But there is Major Blood. As I say, not doing a lot for me. But this is probably my pick of the day, I think, for G.I. Joe pre-orders. It's the armored version of Cobra Commander. So Cobra Commander with combat armor. So he's basically a robotic version, it seems here, of Cobra Commander, because he's gone full sort of armor mode and he's got himself an iguana by the looks of it. Again, any animal experts, correct me in the chat below. Is that an iguana? That's what I would guess it's supposed to be. But my exotic pets knowledge was not one thing I thought would be coming into this video to actually discuss today. But that is kind of where we are. So let's have a look at the deco here. How we painted it. Oh, we got that plastic that, yeah, a lot of that is the shiny, swirly, twirly plastic. So if this had a bit of paint deco on it, I think that would have been much improved. You can see the paint on the chest, because I think that's probably painted over the blue plastic, but they have gone the sort of cheaper route, it seems, and not decoed the rest of the figure there. Hopefully it will be quite nice to see in person. I think this is one I'll benefit from actually seeing a bit more of when you get it in hand. Just looking at that, because sometimes it looks okay, sometimes it is a bit too swirly twirly for me. So I'm loving the accessory there. I'm assuming that's something that came with the original figure, or somebody literally just cooked that up and thought, we'll include one of them. So a reptile bonus figure there for Cobra Commander. I like the fact you can see his eyes under the mask there. Or you've got the sort of full snake eyes, is the way to describe it really, version of Cobra Commander under that helmet. So you've got your two helmet options with the figure. So he's definitely one I think I will be looking to add to the collection at some point later in 2025. And the last one, another Dreadnought, I'm assuming. It is Monkey Wrench. So there is Monkey Wrench with his glasses on. I think he looks better with the glasses on. I wasn't too sold on the head sculpt without the glasses on. But again, you've got your classic 80s sort of 80s Australian rocker look, kind of is what they're going for there. Grenades, Terminator style, slung over the chest. I do like the ripped jeans. That's kind of a cool sculpt to see there. You can wear the sort of face bandana over the face. You've got a pair of axes as well. You can, but I think Monkey Wrench, I don't know, probably because of the card art. I'm assuming he used to have a mask on. You can go sort of full Mad Max, I think is a way of describing that look there. Well, actually, also tell you what he reminds me of: Cabal from Mortal Kombat. If you look up Cabal from Mortal Kombat, that is pretty much what Monkey Wrench is looking like within that one there. Let's get your full layout there. So that's not just additional mask piece, and it's actually attached to a hair sculpt. You can have the removable hair piece, and you can literally slide that over the top. So actually, I do like the head sculpt. Actually, I just associate it more with the glasses on. I think if you want to go fishing, though, if you want to go fishing with a rifle, this fella has got you covered, because you've got the the trident on the end. That's so weird. It's a giant fork on a rifle. What were these people taking in the 1980s? I do not know. But that is your G.I. Joe pre-orders for today. So I say all available on Pulse UK for those. And let's head over to a brief interlude with Toddy Mac then. So Todd McFarlane here. This is Alfred then, going up for pre-order technically tomorrow, the 16th. So it's Alfred, the Jeremy Irons version from Batman vs. Superman. I did check TNI earlier and did see that GameStop may have jumped the gun on this one. And if you're in the US, GameStop's already got the pre-orders up. Not too bad a likeness for McFarlane Toys, really. Obviously, it's no hot toy, but of course, it's not in that price range. You've got the soft goods overalls there, I suppose he's wearing, and he comes with some tools as well. as he's working, and of course, working on the vehicles in the Batcave. Now, I was kind of debating giving up on the McFarlane movie stuff, but the NEC Toy Fair over the weekend. Shout out to everybody who saw NEC Toy Fair this weekend. It was a great time Sunday at Toy Fair. Did pick up the Scarecrow, the red platinum edition of the Scarecrow from the Dark Knight trilogy was there. And with the announcement, of course, of Batman Returns, literally when I was moving stuff around for when I fell through the bloody ceiling, maybe I'm going to have to keep, at least for now, the McFarlane movie stuff, get the Batmobiles out and probably do a display on the unit somewhere behind me, maybe on the bottom shelf or something. I'm thinking for now. So I think I might be in on this Jeremy Irons. I think there was a Riddler shown a few months ago, Jim Carrey in the final suit as well from Batman Forever. So I might have to add that one to the pickup list. So McFarlane still just, he's clinging on there with me. The comic book stuff I've stopped buying. I've filled the shelf, got a nice sale pile working on. But the movie stuff, again, I don't think it's stuff Mattel are necessarily going to do, going back for these classic Batman movies. A lot of nostalgia in these for me, the Batman movies. So potentially something I will still be in on. I think Eradicator's also gone up to date. I'm assuming by now he's already sold out, knowing Todd's distribution. And talking Todd's distribution, seems it was a bit of a robbery, it seems, from what I'm reading over the internet over the past few days. So seems like somebody hijacked a truck of all the product, I think, headed for Target, including a Supergirl and the Killing Joke version of the Joker. They've now had to go and cancel everybody's pre-orders because somebody's nicked the truck. Now, I'm a bit confused, really. They said the entire US stock was stolen on this truck. So what's the person that nicked it going to do with it? Because if everything it starts hitting the market, if the entire country's distribution was on this one truck, which seems a bit strange, but if it was, then, well, as soon as it starts going on the market, you know all of it's been nicked. So, yeah, it's a little bit. So what are you going to do with, I don't know, a few thousand Jokers and Supergirls out there? So, or I do not know. So apparently that has happened. So, yeah, and your pre-orders are cancelled. I don't know about the international stock. I haven't been told anything on that as far as I can see. That still seems to be coming. Those pre-orders are still up. So, yeah, it's all going on over in the US. Somebody's hijacking, the tariffs have sent them over the edge, and they're hijacking Todd's trucks, seems to be what's happening over there. So here we are then. We go to our third topic for the video, our final topic for the day, but a big one indeed, because Mattel and WWE have renewed their global licensing partnership. So effectively, this means Mattel is going to keep the WWE license and keep making those toys for at least a few years to come. I think they said it's multi-year, but I can't see anywhere in any of the press releases here that it actually says how many years it will be. So Mattel took over WWE figures from Jakks back in 2010. So it's already been 15 years they've been going strong. And if you've seen this channel before, you know that is literally my favorite line and my most collected line out of all the lines I collect. This would be the one I would keep. Always been into my wrestling since a very young age. One thing I've never got out of. And it, of course, it is WrestleMania week. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, big news here. I'm glad this license will continue. Of course, with the end of the McFarlane license and a takeover by Mattel. If you're a big McFarlane fan, maybe you're not happy that Mattel are taking over that license. But if you're 15 years into a Mattel collection and suddenly it went to, say, another company, say Hasbro, put their money down for it, then you're not going to want to, I don't know, I personally wouldn't want to be changing aesthetics again for another line. But I don't know. I say that. I was very annoyed when Jakks lost the license initially. But then many years later, yeah, it's probably the best thing that's happened already with Mattel's figures being so much more reflective of the modern era of toy collecting, articulation-wise and literally display-wise from what we were getting with Jakks. So maybe another company in a few years, we could just start the line again. I'd buy it, wouldn't I? You know me. So, yeah, but it is nice that Mattel line is keeping going. I think they've done a fantastic job with the WWE license. The only downside, I'd say, is international distribution at times isn't great when it comes to exclusives, but they are starting to crack that now, putting some of the exclusives on Mattel Creations and working quite well with Smiths here in the UK. So, yeah, happy to see the extension of that license. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And the final bit then is WWE World will be having action figure reveals this Thursday night. So this will be like the access show before WrestleMania. WWE World, they're calling it. But we're going to have a panel: Kathy Kelly, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, of course, Bill and Steve, and Magic from the Mattel team will be there. 5 p.m. I believe that's Pacific time. I don't know. I can't see anybody confirming, but I'm assuming that's Pacific time. As it is, that's 8 hours behind the UK. So this is not going to be till 1 a.m. Friday morning. So there will be coverage on the channel, but you might have to wait till Friday to get it. So stay tuned if you're a wrestling figure fan. They will be covering all the reveals. Maybe they will announce. Will they announce the crowdfunder? They've teased this crowdfunder. I've done a video on it before where they've got us to vote for Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, Elimination Chamber. Will we get any of those playsets revealed, or at least starting the crowdfunder over WrestleMania weekend? Or will they wait to San Diego? They might wait to San Diego. I wouldn't mind them kicking one off because I'd like to get my hands, or at least know what size that is going to be so I can plan the action figure space. But always a bucket ton of reveals, usually around WrestleMania weekend, and then they'll have them out on the show floor, usually within a few hours as well. So hopefully some good coverage to come of that on the channel. And there's a little bonus here. In the UK, I've just discovered this. Kapow Toys have listed the retro Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Playmates sewer there for UK stock, it seems. So £70 they're wanting for that one. And having just got myself a Technodrome for 50, this will connect to it. So this is something I'm definitely going to order. I just don't know if Amazon will be putting it up, and we might be able to get a slightly better price on it if it goes in a sale. I do not know. So I haven't pre-ordered yet, but it's nice to see at least there is some UK distribution on it. I'm assuming they've had to import it in. The price is not too bad, though. £70, not too bad at all. And that's going to be a hell of a display connected to the Technodrome, which is what I'm going to do with the gaming figures from NECA in front of it. So that's a little bonus there at the end. Just a bit of a sort of midweek news video on I think it's Tuesday. I think I'm going to say on a Tuesday night here in the UK, just after work, getting this news video up. So your G.I. Joe pre-orders, Todd's been robbed, and we've got Mattel and WWE extending the license. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jay. This has been Jay's Toy Collection UK, and I will, of course, see you on the next video.